probably a little bit too late, but got to bring it back from the brink of Islamic takeover.
People, especially a lot of right-wing people, they're treated differently than sort of left-wing protesters. People who aren't even committing crimes in the riots are getting arrested.
I'm beginning to feel like I'm losing my freedom of speech. I can say something that's just opinion and it might be accused, for instance, of being Islamophobic.
That's something.
You don't see one of them every day.
Tommy Robinson is missing his own party. Thousands are in central London for one of his Unite the Country rallies. Tommy can't make it. He's been remanded in custody after being charged under the Terrorism Act. He's also due in court in a couple of days for repeating libelous claims against a Syrian refugee. These rallies attract a diverse crowd, not demographically, but belief-wise. There's everyone from vaccine skeptics to radical football hooligans, and I want to meet them. It's a sick t-shirt.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got better than that.
What have you got? What were the other options?
I shouldn't really be showing you all this. Pull it up. Pull it right up.
Oh man, that's something.
You don't see one of them every day.
No. When did you get that? When did you get that done?
About 3 years ago.
As a Christian, I'm beginning to feel persecuted. I'm beginning to feel like I'm losing my freedom of speech. There's things I can't say. I can say something that's just opinion and it might be accused, for instance, of being Islamophobic.
Absolutely. Go on, son.
How are we doing, guys?
Yeah,
doing
good.
good.
Doing well, man.
Absolutely, of course
okay?
there is.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, doing really well.
What are you doing? You're doing an interview?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That. I love that.
Yeah, but you listen, I've got to do it again.
Love ya. Have
No
a good
worries.
day.
That is a cracker.
Well, it gets people talking.
Absolutely.
Just come to support Tommy Robinson and his gang of people to try and restore this country.
What do you need to restore this country?
Well, in my opinion, it's probably a little bit too late, but got to bring it back from the brink of Islamic takeover, whatever you want to call it, whoever takes over. It's just getting insane in this country.
What makes you say that? What makes you say we're on the brink of an Islamic takeover?
Watch the news. No, wrong. Don't watch mainstream news.
I'm concerned about, say, two-tier policing, so one rule for one set of people and one rule for another. I'm concerned about things like the media, who label Tommy Robinson as far right and racist, and I don't think he is, and I don't know the man, but I've listened to what he's said, and I've never heard him incite violence. I've only heard him ask for peace. I've never heard him say anything racist. He's got lots of friends from overseas of different skin colours, and so that bias and that propaganda, I find that really scary. Not scary because I trust in Jesus actually.
These rallies used to sometimes attract only a few hundred people, but since Tommy Robinson's reinstatement to Twitter, he's managed to attract thousands and thousands to his events. The people here are really suspicious of the media. One guy told me that Al-Qaeda were even in attendance. He actually meant Al Jazeera.
We were supporting Tommy Robinson and doing a peaceful march.
And it was peaceful.
Totally peaceful. We just wanted to be a presence and to show our support.
Obviously he organised this march, but he's been remanded in custody.
Yeah.
What do you think people here are missing without Tommy being here?
Nothing, because it's not about Tommy Robinson, although he seems to be a figurehead for this movement.
Yeah,
it's about
absolutely.
the grassroots. Every single one is the same as Tommy Robinson there. Everyone is aligned in the views that British people need to put British people first, and the British government rather needs to put British people first. And I say British, I don't care race, creed, religion. Someone who identifies with British values.
I'm concerned that there might be an infiltration of values that I don't think are good, because of other religions that I don't think are good.
Which religions?
I think Islam is potentially a huge problem. I love Muslims, I absolutely love Muslims, so I hope you don't cut that out. Got a lot of really, really good people, but I find the religion itself is, I find there's a lot of things in there that if people knew about, they wouldn't defend it in the way that a lot of people seem to do.
I'm a Reform UK supporter, and I think what's happened today is people are sort of very divided amongst the right, and I feel it's very important for right-wing people to be more united we need to unite for a common cause, and that's for the flag.
Can you talk me through those divisions?
Well, I've heard a lot of speakers up there today, and they're not too happy with Reform UK, and that's obviously the party I support, and they're encouraging a lot of people to vote for UKIP. But I feel that UKIP haven't realistically got a chance. I feel like they're a bit too right-winged, and if they're trying to get more centre-right people, especially like myself, away from the Tories, which I was previously a member of, and I think Reform is they've got the best chance of forming a government in the next election after Labour. What do you make of Tommy Robinson? Yeah, I think he's a good man. He stands for a good cause. I think the problem is he's just a bit too divisive and a bit too extreme. And it's a great shame, because I feel that if he sort of aligned himself more in the centre, he could properly unite the right, which I'm sure is what his actual objective is. And it's not to cause division amongst right-wing people, but I want to see a united right.
The mainstream media, in my opinion, just a complete utter waste of time. They're just liars, cheats, keep the truth from us, everything. What's Tommy Robinson done for the country? Damn sight more than this idiot that's in Parliament now.
He's persecuted for telling the truth. You know, for calling out the truth. The uncomfortable truth that they don't want you to hear. They don't want the public to hear and know about.
How did you get involved in this movement?
I didn't say I'm involved in it.
How did you get interested in this movement, would you say?
I'm from Northern Ireland. You know, we get involved in things.
How did you get involved in this movement, would you say?
By reading a lot of mainstream news and seeing that wasn't representative of what I'm seeing in my hometown, in many a hometown, Blackburn, Luton. These towns are now, the city centres are the derelict. They're derelict and they're overrun with people who don't represent our values.
I'm unhappy about two-tier policing. I'm unhappy about the sort of move away from capitalism and encouraging businesses to grow and employ people. Yeah.
What do you mean by two-tier policing?
I feel that people, especially a lot of right-wing people, they're treated differently than sort of left-wing protesters. I mean, we've seen the way people who aren't even committing crimes in the riots are getting arrested. Obviously, what happened with people setting fire to hotels, that's obviously out of order. I do not condone that in any way, shape or form. But I do think people are unfortunately treated differently by the police just because of their political views.
Is it fair to say those people are political prisoners?
Yep, certain people like Peter Lynch, yeah.
If I saw things wrong that were happening around me and I did nothing, that complacency is more sinful, I would say, than trying to do something about it. So our God has an anger, but it's not there's a difference between anger and temper. So I wouldn't lose my temper, but the anger. So if you see injustice, you should feel angry. If you see somebody being abused, you should feel angry. So if you see deceit, you should feel angry, and I am angry at the deceit, and I'm angry that I feel fairly powerless to do anything about it. I'm frustrated probably that I feel powerless to do much about it, apart from come to something like this.
What decisions are the government making that you object to?
They don't seem to be putting British people first. They seem to be putting everybody else apart from the British person, and particularly the British working class, who they're meant to represent being the Labour Party. And don't get me wrong, the Conservatives are no better. Everyone's at the back of the queue. They're allowing masses of illegal immigrants. Now, nothing against people coming here, migrating through the correct channels. That's brilliant. It's great for the economy. It's great for the national health. But illegal immigration is killing this country. We've got old age pensioners now who are getting £300 a month, £300 a year taken away from them, the winter fuel allowance. And it's going to be carnage. I've got a personal friend who is petrified now of winter coming on because of this £300 next year, which is different to him. And meanwhile, we're putting thousands of illegal, and I stress illegal, immigrants in hotels and paying for them. And the taxpayer, you, I, my wife and everybody else who works for a living, is being screwed by the government. And not just this government, previous one as well. So no, I think there needs to be change in this country, and this is the only way we can do it legally.
As Tommy Robinson rallies go, this was a relatively dull affair. People even started to clear off when Robinson's new film started airing. But, low energy or not, thousands did feel compelled to come and show their support for the far right in the UK. These people are radical anyway, but just coming to this event can radicalise them even further. They might arrive a vaccine skeptic and leave fully versed in the Great Replacement theory. Some people I spoke to had pretty common concerns about this country, like the state of their high street, but these concerns are mutated when combined with a diet of far-right news. If there are any echo chambers in politics, it's here. They tell each other that the media, politicians, the liberal elite are all against them. And if you disagree with them, then you're part of the problem too.